Adam, thank you so much for coming, man.
Sure, no problem.
So this is DB Group Real Talk.
Yeah.
Samantha wants me to do a more thorough intro. So
Yes.
Holy moly. Okay.
Yes.
I'm a division manager here.
Thank you.
You're a sales manager here.
Yes.
Adam, what do you do?
I'm in financial sales.
Okay. Is that your own company?
No, I work for a company called RWS out of Michigan. We have offices in basically around the Great Lakes area. So it's mainly out of Michigan, but we have offices in Chicago, we have in Ohio, and we have them in Wisconsin. Yeah.
I'm so excited to have you here because we actually did specific questions just for you.
Cool.
Some invasive ones. So if you don't answer, the rules are you would just take a shot on your own if you don't want to answer it. But if you do answer, we all drink with you.
Well, the cool thing is that and Sam will say this, I am so hard to embarrass. So you know what? Let's have a lot of fun.
Same.
I know. I'm in
There's
trouble.
There's some things I can't say, but off record I will.
Yeah. Perfect.
First than anything, I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you so much.
That's very sweet of you. Yeah.
But I was thinking about it today and I'm like, I'm in trouble because neither of them get embarrassed.
No,
Adam is more polished, but he doesn't get embarrassed. And
you're polished.
Yes, you are. And I'm not saying that you're not. But
no, you did. You said it on camera. That's fine.
Edit.
No. Edit. What was funny was that she sent me a sample video. Said, "Hey, here's what you can expect." Yeah. And then I saw the outfit you were wearing, and it was the exact same outfit I was wearing. I was like, "Holy crap! Can you imagine if we did that?"
Well, we should coordinate next time.
No, I was telling him, I'm like, this morning I was going to message him. I'm like, can you wear something blue or white? So I'm like, I already know what he's going to say. I love Sam because she thinks about the fabric, the colors.
Yeah, she's already trying to coordinate.
I'm not going to. But your suit has a little bit of blue.
Slight
and I didn't text you.
Slight blue.
Please. Know that I did not text him.
She does every day. She's like, what's the outfit? I'm like,
I did not.
Overthought.
She's like, iron your socks today.
But
I'm like,
Sam thinks of everything.
Every detail.
Every detail.
Yeah, it's insane. I love
Nothing
it,
gets past her. Oh, are you kidding me? I mean, if I want somebody to pack my parachute, it'd be her. It wouldn't be you.
It would not be me.
No.
So I'll just like, hey man, like I hope it works.
Yeah, I take whatever Sam built. Right?
Well, so hers. Yeah. Cool, man. All right, so you're a financial advisor.
Yeah.
How'd you get into that?
Well, it was by accident. I was in finance many years ago, back in the early 90s, and I supervised an office much like this.
Okay.
And it was an okay job. And then, they asked me to teach one of the insurance classes, and so I always wanted to be a teacher, and I went to college for that.
Yeah.
And so when I did that. That part I found the most exciting part of the job. I said I was really good at educating people. I was really bad at time cards and all the tactical things that go with just staring at a desk of people and making sure that they behave properly.
Right.
So I got out of that and I joined another insurance group where they said, hey, you know what? We have reps that sell retirement plans. And when they sell retirement plans, they need somebody to actually stand in front of the employees afterwards and show them how to use the plan. And so
that actually makes a lot of sense.
Well, of course, you and I know this, right? That you can say, hey, here's a benefit and good luck. But if you don't show them how to use it, people will use it wrong. And if they use it wrong, for many people, this is their primary source of retirement income. If they mess that up, that's not good. So that was an exciting job for me because I got to teach and I learned the story and I got very good at that. What's interesting about that, though, when they hired me, they hired Adam San Juan and they hired my associate, my friend Josh Gomez.
Okay.
And so we got the job, we went through the training and they said, okay, we learned the talk and they said, okay, can you deliver that presentation in Spanish? And Josh and I go, no, they thought they're hiring an Adam San Juan and a Josh Gomez naturally meant that we spoke Spanish. So we didn't speak Spanish at all, but that was a great job for me. That launched into sales ultimately. And so now instead of the guy that actually stands in front of the employees, I'm the guy that actually brings in the clients. And we have a team of people that does the education.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was a great job. And to help people, too. I mean, I think at the end of the day,
how old were you when that happened?
Oh, my goodness. Let's see. I was probably 28.
So we're getting invasive right out the gate.
No, that's cool. It's like I said, ask me anything.
What's
I'm
your
an open
socials,
book.
Adam?
Exactly. Geez, fast forward 30 years in the business. So I'm 55 now, so I'm closing in on 30 years on the business.
You see, he doesn't mind.
And you look great, man.
Thank you, man.
Everything. He doesn't mind.
You know what? Eat right, get some sleep, which I'm not very good at, but and then get some exercise in, stay in motion.
So how did you guys link up? So do you manage her money or?
The way I meet people, it's very interesting, as you know that.
Always.
Networker, man.
So earlier today, you were talking about we were talking about golfing.
Oh yeah.
You say he had golfed. And I'm like, oh my God, that's going to be an interesting story because that's how we met.
Okay.
Because I dress like I know.
You dress like a pro.
She's
Like a pro.
got dress game, man. She's
You know, I look at her social media. I didn't even know she was a lender. I was like, oh, she's a golfer. Yeah, she gets paid.
So he invited me to a networking for a foursome, and I go to it, and I'm like, I'm not a player. I don't even know how to hold a club. You're gonna have to teach me. And he's like, what? He's like, I thought you were a golfer. I was like, nope. I've been to a couple of clinics. I've been to like networkings just to like the banquet part, but I am
completely
not
verified by the first time she swung like a oh hell. She did not lie. No.
Please share here with Doug. How did I look the first time?
Well, look or actually perform on the golf course. I would say that look-wise, you had the game down. Watching you swing was like watching an octopus fall out of a tree. I'm like, okay, this isn't good.
All right.
But I mean, as time progressed, and this is the natural teacher in me, we just said, hey, do a couple of things. And then I'd say by the turn, you were really striking the ball well, and your putting game was pro style.
Incredible. I could not believe, because I always wanted to take up lessons. And by the time we finished that outing, I wouldn't say I was a pro, but I was at least like,
contact.
Yes,
going
contact, forward, making a good strike. Like, it was incredible.
Can you blend in now?
I can blend in. And I took a couple of more lessons with him. Okay. He fixed my swing.
I saw some social media stuff where you guys were like working on the swing.
We do a really good team.
I'm terrible. I feel like if you don't constantly golf, you're just not going to be good.
Oh yeah, it's like anything. I mean, you guys speak a specific language here in the finance part of it, and I touch golf a lot, right? I take my clients golfing a lot, and so and then of course because I do that, I don't want to embarrass myself. So I said, you know what? Let me get my game on, and I'd say that I always was a good athlete. I think COVID, though, kind of helped because the only thing you could
That's
do
all you could do.
was golf.
Really? Yeah.
So my handicap went down from 18 and it got all the way down to 9. So that's where I'm at now.
Where are we at, Sam?
Nice.
What's your handicap?
What is my handicap?
Oh, no. There's a proper way to register a handicap. And then you got to play 20 rounds of golf, and then it's a rolling 20, so they keep the scores, and then it comes up with that.
I don't know any of that crap. I'm like, I just golf. If you want me to ever make your clients look good, bring me.
We were just doing like virtual lessons, not virtually. Like we were going to a simulator, and I mean it was incredible. I really want to, once I don't have to train so much for a marathon, I do want to pick up more lessons.
Yeah, we'll get there. I respect so much of what you do, and I see what you do, and I know that golf takes a lot of time.
Yeah, but I like it,
and you're very good at it. But I know your priorities. I know you work hard. I know running is a big priority for you, but I'll tell you that anytime you're ready to pick up the lessons, let me know.
He said it here, okay? Please document this.
But a lot of business occurs.
Busy.
I'm very busy, but a lot
course?
of business happens on the golf course. And what I tell women golfers is that you don't need to be great. Just be directionally accurate, know the etiquette, and then speak the language. Because there's in high school there's Spanish, and then there's real conversational Spanish. There's what you learn in golf, and then there's conversational golf.
Yes.
And when I do my workshops, it's primarily conversational golf. What's the real life conversation you should have on golf to perform?
Etiquette.
Yeah.
A lot of etiquette.
Right. Get drunk, flip the golf carts over.
Sounds like you want some lessons too.
Are
we in?
I can't dedicate to get good. I think once I'm on the course, so I can blend in, but I can't hit a driver.
The key is this. The key is just to have a good time. I mean, I've golfed with really good golfers, and they are horrible people, right? And then I've golfed with people who aren't very good golfers, and I love golfing with them. Why? Because they don't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
Nobody I've golfed with is ever going to make it to the PGA Tour. So you know what? Just have fun.
Just have fun out there.
And when guys start throwing their clubs, like you're not that good. You don't practice that enough to get that mad. So just relax.
That's the only thing I don't get overly competitive. Anything else, I'm going to cheat to win.
What's your sport then?
Basketball, baseball.
Is that right?
Yeah, man. That's what I grew up on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But golf, because I know I suck. I won't get competitive.
Yeah, I'm definitely very humble when it comes to golf.
Very humble.
As long as I'm making contact, I'm like, yes, I'm good.
Help me out, Adam. I can't hit a driver for the life of me, but I could do decent with an iron.
Different swings. The trajectory, the angle, how you set up is different.
Was it the left foot matched up to the ball?
But generally, you want for a driver, you want that ball to be about inside of your left foot.
Okay.
And then the wedges, the irons generally in the middle.
Yeah.
And then people don't realize this, but it is the shoulders, right? If the shoulder's a little bit more level on an iron, but for a driver, you kind of lower your right shoulder because you want to hit up on it.
Okay.
And remember, the driver's the only club that's on the tee, so you want to hit up on it.
Yeah.
The problem I see is most people hit a driver like an iron, and then all hell breaks loose.
Sam, how far are you driving these things? 250?
Do you remember?
She hit one. Well, we really didn't spend a lot of time on the driver because the main thing was we wanted to work on the irons just to get the groove on. But I remember one of your 7 irons went 150 yards. there are many adults that can't hit a 7-iron.
So she took
Grown
her
ass men that
steroids that day. Okay.
Well, something that I learned
That's
is that
impressive.
golf, it's a lot of like the strength comes from the legs. And when he told me that, I'm like, game on.
Yeah.
It's also contact though.
No, you
Because
can make
like that's
contact.
my strongest, like my legs are definitely stronger than my upper body. And
Yeah.
I always thought golf, it was upper body strength. And it's
No,
not. It's
the
your
mistake
lower
is that
body.
everything starts from the base. So you know
Yeah.
that. A baseball guy, you show me somebody in the batter's box, I'll tell you whether or not they're going to hit the ball to right field or center field.
I love Barry Bond has like the best tip on that. He's like, how can a catcher always catch that high speed fastball?
Yeah.
So just catch it with the bat.
That's it.
Just catch it with the bat.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang, that
One of
makes
the best
a lot of sense.
players out there. So yeah, footwork is key, but and it's all technique. You know, to bring the parallel to your team here.
Yeah.
It's all about technique.
Yeah.
It is. Sequence, structure.
You've seen sloppy sequences. You've seen sloppy techniques, and the results will vary. But if you get the sequence right and it's repeatable, that's the thing.
Yes.
If it's repeatable, well, now you have a machine.
Yeah, we may have you come talk to the whole group. Yeah.
We were just talking about
It's that basic though.
So
you know?
with one of the women's real estate mastermind that I run, he came for one of my sessions and we had a really good time, right?
A really good time. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it was very productive. It was good, and I think we benefit if we do that
I
here
think so.
too.
And you have a very calm demeanor too. I think you'd be changing pace with my craziness.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, it's interesting is you have to read the room a little bit,
Yeah.
right? And that'll tell you, okay, so how do you behave? I think that sometimes, you know, we have our way, right? But sometimes our way isn't the way.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going to a restaurant, right? You go to a restaurant and say, hey, you, for example, you go to a restaurant and say, I'd like a steak. What is the first question that the server asks?
How do you want it?
Exactly.
How?
And the point is, how
I'm
do you
a
want
medium
it?
guy.
Medium rare guy.
I'm not the rare yet, but medium.
I like mine. There's something called Pittsburgh Rare.
Okay.
And
Was that like
it's-
purple?
No, it's charred on the
Okay.
outside and it's pink on the inside.
Then Pittsburgh Rare.
Pittsburgh
that's
Rare.
what I
Say
like.
Pittsburgh Rare and just try it. It's very good. But the point about somebody asking you, how do you like your steak? I think that's a mistake a lot of people make is that they're just going to talk to you the way they want to be talked to, which is the false of the golden
You
rule.
got a mirror.
Yeah. You say, and then there's some great books. There's one by Chris Voss called Never Split the Difference. He talks about this mirror neuron. They'll tell you what they want. You just got to, let
Look at the
them
cue.
tell you.
Look at the cue.
A lot of cues.
Yeah.
But no, I think some of the things that I call myself a studier of people, and I just happen to be in finance. But we're all studiers of people. The question is, technique-wise, how do you do that? And some do it in a very animated way, and some just do it naturally.
Yeah. It's interesting too when you talk about like just read the room. I actually when I used to be super polished, I didn't connect.
Whoever told you weren't super polished? Because she
I
said
know.
it earlier.
He always says
you're
that.
polished, bro. I saw you in Oak Brook, and you commanded that room, even though that Rick Ruby was the
guy. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're still.
No, I appreciate that.
no,
but I think just being my natural self is what's working.
Of course.
But
that doesn't mean you're not polished.
I don't know. I think you guys are naturally polished. Like for me, I have to turn it on.
I was gonna say I was trying to think like I stayed quiet because I'm like I do connect with people. You always telling me I'm polished, but I'm like I do connect with people.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're very good at that. You're a connector too.
That's definitely my.
Yeah, I'm a
my
book guy.
thing.
So there's a book by Malcolm Gladwell called The Tipping Point. And he says, look, if you're going to create a pandemic or an epidemic or some version of a change in a group, you need to know 3 people. You need to know salespeople. Just their enthusiasm alone will drive people, and the people will follow that.
Yeah.
You need mavens. You need people who know a lot about one thing. That's all they know. Kind of like the Rain Man, right?
Yeah.
We knew that. And then the last one is you need connectors. You need people who know people.
Yes.
One of the examples he used in his book is this thing about Paul Revere and the British are coming and he's ringing a bell riding a horse. That really wasn't quite true. What he did do is that he just knew the right people to tell and they told
And
their
they spread
people.
it.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's the right way to create, as he says, a tipping point.
That's awesome. I love those books. Yeah, I give a book out every year.
What's that?
I give a book out every year.
Oh, good.
Actually, I sent you one.
What was the last one you gave out?
What was it? Good to Great?
No, Atomic
good
Habits.
Oh, Atomic Habits. Yeah, that's the last one I was
It's
giving
one
out.
of my favorite books.
Yeah.
James Clear, his name is a bit ironic because that's exactly what he does. He makes clear about the little things you do to make a big difference. So many things. That's
things add up.
mandatory reading. Everybody should read that.
Love it.
Speaking
I
of
love it.
books, Adam released his book this year.
Really?
And that's what he presented on when I had him at the mastermind.
Yeah.
And you guys are definitely. You want to tell him a little bit about the book, the shapes?
Sure.
That's amazing.
The book is interesting, and it came out last year, and it was born of this idea that there were 3 things that I wanted to leave behind with my kids, and I raised my kids this way. And when I coached baseball and softball, all the kids I coached, I wanted them to be good at 3 things, and this book was one of the first 3 things. And it's titled, What Are You Looking At? It's called the Impact of Answering.
Yeah.
What are you looking at? And how it changes everything. And it's really a study of people. And it's called What Are You Looking At? Because I think many people get this wrong. They just don't know what they're looking at. They don't know their audience. And if you don't know your audience, then good luck. And if you're successful, it's luck. But what I try to do is remove luck out of the equation, say there is a way to properly navigate a conversation, but you need to have a system.
Yes.
And there's 1,000 systems out there. There's the DISC program, there's Myers-Briggs, there's all kinds of personality programs out there. And so I talk about one that's very simple. That, for example, like if I said, hey, you said, Adam, we're going to meet Doug. And I said, well, can I have Doug fill out this 36-question questionnaire so I can figure out how to talk to him?
Yes.
I don't have time. No one's got time for that.
Yeah.
And when you walk into a closing, you got to cook.
I love this because he's like, do not ask me to answer 36 questions. I already saw him answering when heis look.
You know what? Don't you get this? But can you imagine talking like that to a client? The client's, I don't have time for this, which means we have to cookie cut it like on the spot.
Yeah.
So what is your process for that? And so
you're going to love this.
Well, I'm not going to go into the full details of it, but it really is a much simpler way of saying, what am I looking at? Yeah. I mean, and I think everybody tells you something. Everybody tells you a cue. How you dress, the suit you wear, the glasses you wear. Yeah. All these little things are little cues from an observation standpoint. I say, okay, I think he's like this. He's organized. He speaks fast, very confident, chest out. I mean, you know what? You're buttoned up. You match, all of these things tell me something. And then when I talk to you, then it's going to be the tempo by which you talk, the eye contact. Yeah. All of these little things tell you, okay, this is how they like their steak.
Yeah.
And then from there, now, do you have the agility to change your tone and how you speak to what's receptive to them? So the book is called, What Are You Looking At? The Impact of Answering and How It Changes Everything. If I were to rename that book, it'd be called The Art of Thin Slicing and Super Connecting. Thin Slicing says, I need just a little bit of information and I'll know a lot about you. And then Super Connecting is, how do I use that information to connect with you?
Sounds like you get your part 2 and part 3 already.
Part 2, okay, so the story about the book in 2023 was that there were really 3 things that I wanted my kids to know. And as a matter of fact, the dedication of the book says to Aaron and Sid, and their children's children's children. Because once we're done,
pass it down.
And we're past, will I get some money? Fine. That'll probably be forgotten. I just want them to remember a thought, an idea. And so there were 3 ideas that I wanted my kids to walk away with. The first one was just be aware of your audience.
Yes.
The second one is surround yourself with really good people. Find a way to do that. And the third one was have a process for making good decisions. And I codified that in questions. The first one was, what are you looking at? The second is, what am I doing here? And the third one was, what was I thinking?
Yes.
So my first book was really encompassing, my first manuscript was encompass all 3 of those. Sent it to the editor, and the editor said, hey, finish the first one and see what that looks like. Because it was kind of rough, and it came out to 280 pages. And she said, if you write all 3 in one, no one's going to buy a 780-page book. So I trimmed it down, came out to 180 pages, and she said, you accidentally wrote 3 books. So, oops, yeah, crazy oops. So the second one, What Am I Doing Here, is coming out later on this year.
That's awesome.
That's with the editors now, and pretty exciting. And the last one's coming out next year.
That is so relevant, because I think impressions, people kind of don't pay attention to that, but you have a moment.
Yes. Well, for us, it's so important to learn these things, because every client is going to be different. How do you deliver the information? How do you explain things? The way I process things is going to be very different. The way you do it, the way he does 100%. It. And even that Adam and I don't have spent a lot of time together. We haven't known each other for a long time. He knows me so well, professionally speaking. He knows how to
read cues.
Because he knows how to read cues.
Exactly. So
he's like, you like this, like this. And I'm like,
well,
I like this guy.
It's so relevant for sales. You have to read those cues, right?
Yeah, so it's very, very important.
There's another book I think people should read. It's called To Sell Is Human by Daniel Pink. It's an older book. But the crazy thing about that book is, look, we're all in sales. And I say, I use this phrase, this verb, moving. Sales is moving somebody from a resource, be it money, be it whatever it may be. Yeah. How do you move somebody or facilitate a decision? Yes. And To Sell Is Human uses as one example. If you're trying to get your 4-year-old to take a nap, you're in sales, right? If you're trying to get your dog to sit, you're in sales. 100%. How are you incenting the dog?
Life.
Or we're always negotiating. Always.
You got to find that. So I've always been a studier of people, and my book is just my take on what I've learned over the past many years to say, you know what, this is how I do it. I don't have a lot of time to sit there and just go through any antiquated process. I just need to cookie cut it. And this is the way I do it.
Yeah.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
I
Very
think,
good.
yeah.
I'm going to find out where I could get is it on Amazon?
Just right here in my bag.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good deal.
So here, pass that over. And you know what?
It's for you.
I'll tell you right
thank you.
now that there are probably about 9 or 10 little Easter eggs that I planted in there, which spawn additional conversation. But definitely read it. And
I will.
Sam had me present that to her mastermind group in Lake Forest, and we had a blast.
Yeah, so it was really
Well,
nice because
come
we
back
did the
out.
exercise. We
Thank you
read
very much,
it,
Ed.
You're welcome. I'll
got
sign
the
it for you later.
exercise.
Yeah, please.
And before we're going to transition, what shape do you think he is?
Triangle all day.
All day, right?
All day.
Yeah.
Oh, is this one of the a disc?
Yeah, different version of disc. As a matter of fact,
Different
disc, the
version,
first one is, was it dominance? Is that
So
that's the first
depending
one
on
that
your
disc?
personality
Yeah.
is the shape. So I feel like I'm a combination.
Yeah.
You're definitely a triangle. Like
A triangle?
Like yes, like
That's the
super
decision maker
like with
dominant?
Sharpie.
Yeah, how long is this taking? How much is it going to cost?
Quick. You gotta be
Absolutely, we
decisive.
got to make a decision.
Yeah.
You gotta be decisive.
That's why I'm like with
Right.
Sharpie. Triangle with Sharpie.
So at the end of the day, and I'll give you a quick synopsis of what the shapes are, right?
Yeah.
We know what disc is.
Yep.
Myers-Briggs is another thing. And what I tell people is like, this is just my way. You
Yes.
don't have to use it, but have a way.
It's another version. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just have a way.
Yeah.
And so what I don't like about Myers-Briggs, 16 different options, 4x4, come up with these crazy ones. Like, okay, that's way too many. What I don't like, I love disc. I've been through the program.
Yeah.
But if you were to explain to a 6-year-old, what is dominance?
Yeah. They wouldn't know.
But what is conscientious? Oh, that's
Yeah.
how many syllables
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah.
But if I said, in your mind, draw. Actually, we'll pick on your engineer here.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to pick on you for a second, okay? I want
JT
you,
on
and
the
you're,
spot.
JT, you're on the spot, bro. So let's think about this. I want you to draw 4 shapes in your head. You ready? Okay, draw a circle, draw a square, draw a triangle, and then draw a wavy line. Okay? Got it? All right. Now, pick which one represents your personality the best. Don't tell me what it is. Just pick it, okay?
Okay.
Got it? Which one you most relate to. Okay, I'm going to take a guess, okay? I'm going to say square.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I get it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So how did anybody deduce that? Well, let's think about this. Let me tell you why I didn't pick circle. Because circle is all about everybody's well-being and caring. And I'm not saying that that's not what you are, but I didn't think you were that because of the position you're in now. You would rather be behind the camera than in front of the camera. Yeah. There we go. Okay. The other thing too is why didn't I pick wavy line? Because wavy line is all about, hey man, we can do this. No, you have a process. This is a process. If you don't do this right, it doesn't happen. So somebody who's process driven is very, very, and then square is not bad. I'm married to a square, right? So, and then why not a triangle? Because if this was a triangle, you'd say, hey, Doug, straighten up. Hey, Adam, don't touch the microphone like that. Hey, you would tell me how it's going down, but you're not like that. So, and it's not a bad thing. I think the crazy thing about this whole shapes thing is that at the end of the day, if I look at any corporate structure, by the way, squares and triangles, we're rare. It's 30% of the world are squares and triangles, but we run 70% of the world. Crazy. Why? Because squares and triangles, squares are the CFOs. They know where the money's at. They know the math. Triangles, we make decisions.
Right.
Circles, HR. Wavy line, marketing. At the end of the day, when I'm in a room full of people, it all makes sense. And every single part is important for an operation to go. JT, thanks for letting me pick on you. And you know what? Here's the thing too.
That was impromptu too, by the way. That was
completely impromptu. I love doing it this way because here's the thing. Even if I got it wrong, it wouldn't even mattered. Yeah. Because what it would lead to is this kind of discussion.
Yeah.
And there are times where somebody, and people read the book, said when we have lunch, they go, what shape am I? I'm like, gosh, here we go. So, and sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong. But at the end of the day, it leads to discussion. And she would say, well, why did you think that? I said, because I picked up on this. She goes, wow, do I do that? I was like, you kind of do.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Now they're self-aware a little bit more.
Well, exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
I like
Which
it.
is a very interesting take of the book, because in the book, people who read it will say, okay, it's outward thinking. So how do we observe people and so on? But somewhere around the middle part of the book, they start reflecting on themselves. Now, the cool thing about, and I'm very proud of the book because I didn't just say, hey, everything's, rainbows and unicorns. No, I give very strict warnings that don't get good at this. Yeah. Because if you walk around thinking you know everybody, you
lead everybody.
Yeah.
And and you can be a hybrid.
Yeah.
A guy that he changed my shape. When we met, he said I was a circle, right?
That's what I thought. Well, just because of all the social media presence that you have and how you're so outward going. And also I happen to know your daughters, and
you're a triangle square, right?
No, she's big time square, but I think she's a square with shape with some curves.
Yeah, I think that I'm like I have soft edges.
See, she's pretty directive though.
You know what?
I'm a hybrid. I'm telling you.
Don't get direction confused with this is how she wants. I mean, she needs predictability.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember, boy, I hope I'm not talking out of school here, but she and I chatted about her joining this group.
Yeah.
And we talked a lot, and I just listened to her processes, and I knew she was going to make the right decision. And so she's very, very much in order. I mean, the girls put together. I mean, she's buttoned up. I saw her desk. Everything's all perpendicular and clean. And like, okay.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about you? And I noticed that as well.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't, obviously the company and the, setup all is a factor, but I think you were saying where was the best culture fit for your personality that you can maximize your career.
Yeah.
And like that was the thought process you put into it. And that was just next
100%.
level.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's actually the heart of the second book, which is you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Right.
Yeah.
And Adam was great. I call him like, Adam, I'm making a big decision and I want your advice. And he has been a great mentor.
Yeah.
He's a great advisor.
So the second book I'm excited about, that's like I said, with the editors now. And that's an extension of this book, which is, okay, just know what you're looking at, know your people, but at the end of the day, decide who you want to surround yourself with.
Yes.
And we can even take the example of you being over here. When I got to this office, I said, this fits you. I said, this fits.
He saw me and within like 10 seconds, what did you say?
I said, this fits. I said, I can see you belong here.
He's like, you're happy.
That's amazing. That's amazing to hear.
Not that you weren't happy before, but you know what I mean? I know this was such a big decision that, again, you chose to surround yourself with good people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, like I said, this is the sense of my kids. I told them, I said, just pick your friends carefully.
Your circle should be very strategic and thought out.
Well, here's the hardest part about that. And the third chapter in the book.
Shots.
Was this.
The ability I'm trying to stall some time for some whiskey to come.
No, so am I, by the way. Like, all right, so I don't need this tequila.
I can see that.
I'll pour one tequila.
We can literally talk about, like, Adam, we sometimes set up coffee. Like, literally, we get together, like, every, 3 months, 2 months. And we're like, 45-minute coffee, 2 hours later.
We're blown right through it.
We just talk and talk.
The one last thing I want to mention about surrounding yourself with the right people, just a little sneak preview about the second book. The hardest part about that is this disconnecting from people.
Okay.
Or things or processes, whatever it may be. And I think that in salespeople, what they typically do well, salespeople are interesting because they think they can win everything, which is fine. But also it's to their detriment because they don't know when to say this is a dead end, cut it. And they'll keep chasing the dead stuff. Yeah. And this comes from, John 15:2 stuff where it says, look, if you don't prune out the dead stuff, you will never grow. And I think too many salespeople just think, I got a shot. I was like, bro, it's dead.
We do need to book them to come in because it's so relatable, right? When I say, like, hey, we got to move on, right? After a point, is the client ready to buy or not?
Yeah.
That's so triangular, by the way. What you just said is like, keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
The issue with triangles is
I wasn't going to say anything.
I know he doesn't want to throw me under the bus.
This is her circle part of the personality.
Yes. That's why I'm like, I know I'm hybrid.
But they're so nice. Like,
yes.
Gotta go.
But I want to help everyone.
Yes.
I want to help everyone.
Again, in the book, I talk about the pros and cons of each.
Just hire him, Doug. Don't qualify.
Exactly. No, a circle has a hard time saying no.
Yes.
And so they will surround themselves and then they will get, I'm so frustrated. You know why? Because you said yes to everything. Yeah. Because you can't say no. Where you and I
take on that burden.
Absolutely. Yes. Where you and I like this, it's a dead end. I said, how long are you going to carry that? And just drop it off.
Yeah.
When I call him and I'm like, I made a decision. I'm making the move. He was so happy. He's like, good for you.
Absolutely.
He's like, oh my, what is exactly that you said? Like something about choosing yourself. He's like, because you're always so concerned about other people and not
the
making
reaction.
Yes. He's like, and you're making a choice. So yes.
Good.
Sometimes it's hard.
I see a wheel.
Yes.
And I see you've poured some tequilas that we're on to the next block.
Hopefully it's only one shot of tequila because, Adam, I'll be honest, I'm not a tequila guy myself. So I prefer whiskey.
Okay. Same.
So we have some people running out to get whiskey as we speak. Right. You want to do the honors and do a spin?
Talk to me about what we're going on for our audience who's never seen this wheel. What is this wheel about?
So whatever it lands on, some questions are kind of personal, invasive.
Cool.
You may choose not to answer. No worries. But that's when you take a shot on your own.
By yourself. Okay. We don't drink.
If you answer, we all take a shot with you. She'll take a sip of Prosecco. And
even JT?
You know what? Why not? Why not? You know what? We're gonna pour it up.
Oh,
Why not?
See, man, I had to bring you in the mix. The crazy thing now, he's gonna be editing this thing, and it's gonna be all sideways.
make sure
It's gonna be of our shoes.
Just make sure you get my shoes.
If anybody get anybody's shoes. Oh man. Hey, this idea of thin slicing is a lot of fun. But like I said, my book is my version of it.
Yes, sir.
And as I tell, if I'm talking to a group of salespeople, I've delivered this book and on a number of different venues. Indiana University at Kelley School of Business, I was able to present this book to a bunch of young people. You know what's crazy about that is that I asked them, I said, what are Kelley's School of Business here, one of the best business schools in the country? I said, are they even talking to you about this? I said,
this is the real needle mover.
No, this is the deal. I said, this is the application of humanity here.
Connection is everything. Like to me, I just feel like connection is the base of anything that you do, any career that you do.
Agreed.
So you learn how to connect on your own way. I think that's where
like Adam, I'm old, man. Like I grew up on Six Sigma, right? So like,
sure,
I naturally look at things and how can I make it more simple?
You're a process guy,
right?
Man.
Process, make a decision, have
Mr.
good people
Triangle.
around you, and I'm not sure to have smarter people around me. People 100%. Are so intimidated by that.
100%.
So, but
okay.
All right, yeah.
Talk about the. Okay, so I got the rules.
Yes, I spin the wheel.
Okay.
Whatever question you have to answer it.
Okay, cool.
Or not.
I gotcha.
Okay.
No gun to anyone's head.
Oh Lordy. I can't see what the question is. Okay.
He'll got it.
It says, how did you get rich? Well, we made a big assumption there. So I guess, Adam, are you rich?
I am rich.
There we go.
But it's not in a monetary sense. I'd be happy to show you my W-2 and what my taxes look like. I'm rich because I've been married for 30 years. I don't know how the hell that happened.
Yep.
I got 2 fantastic kids. I have 2 grandchildren. I've got a 3rd grandkid coming along the way. My kids graduated with college, graduated from very good schools without any debt whatsoever.
Hey,
that to me is
that's huge.
Big deal.
That's huge,
right? And my kids will even today tell you, Dad, thank you, because I just know from a finance standpoint how people get strapped with that, and how do you dig out of that?
Oh my God,
it's just horrible to look at that.
Yes.
So I would say that I'm rich because I'm healthy, man, because I'm upright, and you know what?
Not the dollars.
It isn't about the dollars are a byproduct of who you are. And how you navigate through the world. Actually, richness is based upon knowing your audience. Yeah. Who you surround yourself with, and making good decisions.
Yes.
So I know my counterparts who make $gajillion, but you know what? I don't measure rich that way. That's a great question. By the way, I'm not afraid to answer, so I guess we all drink. I think everybody's rich. I think the people who think they're poor have their own set of issues. Mm-hmm. They're just looking at it wrong.
Yeah, I think, and it may be different for everyone, right? I think people do think monetarily, but sometimes money doesn't make you happy, right? So
you and I know a lot of people who make a lot of money.
Yeah,
it's just like my golf game I was telling you about. I don't care how good you are. Do you have a good attitude?
Yeah, are you fun to play with?
There's some people who make a lot of money. They're just miserable people.
Oh God, that's hilarious. It is a little off topic. So I had an event over at the Willis Towers on the 67th floor, and like that wasn't my crowd. Like everyone was just so overly flashy, and like good for you, buddy. Like, can we have a conversation?
Connect.
Right. So I agree.
You read the room and you go, okay, so it's going to be like this.
Yeah.
Right. And then I've been in that room before, and then it's straight observation. You're already just kind of, again, connecting some dots. And then you talk to them and like, okay, and you're just kind of hoping that it isn't that, and sometimes it is.
Yeah.
And then you go, okay, so do I want to continue this conversation? Or, like I said in the second book, cut bait.
You got to cut it.
Got to go.
You got to cut it.
This is not my place.
All right, JT, let's drink. Let's go.
All right.
All right, so that's your tequila right there. You got your Prosecco.
Oh, yes.
You got it?
My gosh. I tell you, let me just...
Cheers, guys.
Okay. Cheers.
Salud, salud.
Salud.
Wow, I can't believe this. I'm going to tell my wife. So how was the podcast? That was great. I did a shot of tequila. She goes, what?
Right.
3.
Yeah.
Well,
He's going to do 3.
Oh, there's more.
We do 3 spins.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just hoping. He thought he made it.
He's like, well, this is not that bad.
Yeah, we have a little green room where you can lay down.
Right.
Yeah,
there's a couch.
I'm like, I'm drinking Prosecco regardless, so we're good.
That is hilarious.
Okay, here we go. Are we ready?
Okay, so let me understand the conditions by which I don't drink. If
you always drink.
Always drink.
The guest always drinks.
It's just if you choose not to answer, you're drinking more.
Okay. Fired up. Let's do it.
If you choose not to answer, you drink by yourself.
Okay.
We don't have to drink. So it's in your best interest to answer.
No, just I did not sign any version of a waiver or anything like that. So I guess
we got Ubers on standby.
I'm at my risk. At my own risk here.
Okay.
Good. Well, yeah. By the way, if the whiskey comes,
they got me as I poured one. I'll take
nice.
How the hell am I going to chase a whiskey? I mean, a tequila with a whiskey.
We can do it. We can do it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, I'll take the last tequila since I already poured it.
Well, all right, fine. Well,
you want to switch?
No, let's go to the whiskey. We'll do the
whiskey.
I'd rather have the whiskey because all these flashbacks of high school are coming back.
I hear you. Yeah, tequila will get me going. And we got another podcast after this. I think I have an interview later, so I'm like, okay, we're about to offer the highest salary in history.
Do you need me to be in that room?
Yeah, maybe.
You know what? Duly noted. So if it says, hey, what about DB? Should I work? It's like, well, get there on a Friday at around 3
Friday's a good day.
Yeah, exactly.
Friday's a good day.
Yeah.
I did come in on a Friday after his 2 podcasts.
Brilliant. That's such a strategic move.
And I didn't know. Honestly, I did not know.
Oh, Anna, you'd be so proud. The way she negotiated.
I was like, wow, I'm a really good negotiator. I didn't think whiskey was helping me.
That's so funny.
Oh,
okay, let's put it out. Let's see what we got.
What do we have?
Oh, actually, this may be a Sam question. So if you were arrested, what would people assume you were arrested for?
Oh, yes. That was my question.
Oh, snap. Okay, let me think. If I was arrested.
Without telling them, without telling your friends and family, what would they assume right away that you got arrested for?
Wow. I honestly can't think
Get creative.
Get creative. Okay.
Do you need another shot?
No, I'll answer it. Yeah, another shot.
And honestly, some people just could avoid situations to ever be arrested. So,
well, I generally try to. I do have, that reminds me, I did get arrested when I was in my early 20s. Was it early 20s? No, it was, early 20s.
Yeah.
But it was because there was a shooting at one of the schools way back up in Zion Benton, up in, North Lake County. And they basically shut down everything about, hey, nobody come near the school. And I just happened to be driving by the school, and I made a turn into that direction of the school, and then boom, arrested for trespassing. So, but it was minor. I will tell you that I don't have an answer for that, but it would be for something stupid.
Yeah.
I know that. It won't be like he robbed a store, because no one would say, hey, why would Adam rob a store, right? Or like, I have no reason to
it wouldn't be actual thought out crime out there.
It wouldn't be a calculated crime. It'd be like, no,
it'd be an accident.
You get arrested on a freaking accident, right? And kind of like
wrong guy.
Yeah.
When Sam was talking about that question, I was like, well, if it lands on, I don't know what I was going to say either, but then I remembered Dubai. I heard you can't curse in public. And I'm like, damn.
See?
I'm a potty mouth.
Exactly.
I'd be screwed.
Yeah, exactly. See, again, I would get arrested for something I didn't know what a rule was. But it wouldn't be out of malice, right? This infers that, hey, you know what? You have some version of intent. It's like, no, if I break the law, it probably is because I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Because I'm keenly aware of the law.
Yes.
Right?
In the U.S. at least.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if that was an exciting answer.
Do I have to answer that?
What about you?
Yeah, do I have to answer that?
Yeah, I'm curious.
What? Even you don't. I
don't know. Maybe like some drug dealing or. Just kidding.
Did she say juggling?
No, drug dealing.
Drug dealing. Oh God.
No.
You're drinking Prosecco and we're drinking shots and drug dealing? Well, that's a leap.
I'm the one that got drunk. No.
That is hilarious.
I am a rule follower.
She did smuggle a protein shake in my mini fridge. So
you can't do that. You got to bring one for everybody.
I'm trying to send a message, but he's not reading it. He doesn't want to jump in the fitness wagon.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I'm a rule follower. I don't think so. I think that like if my daughter's got a call and say we arrested your mom, they'll be like, you have the wrong number. Yeah. Click.
Wrong mom.
Yeah, exactly. I'd have to. That's such a great question, but much like you, just because I didn't know the rules.
Yeah.
But once I know the rules, it's like I think whatever the rules are, I'm going to follow them.
I was even picturing scenarios like, even now, if I were like at a bar or like a party and like you have a tough guy that wants to I'm not going to fight you, buddy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to fight.
All right, like I'm not in my early 20s. Like, good
back in the day, maybe, but now,
exactly.
Not
too much.
You are lucky. I'm 37.
Okay.
Good. Oh, so we fired up.
Yep. So I'm gonna do the last tequila.
Good for you.
You can do the conversion to whiskey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then another sip of Prosecco.
Salud.
Salud.
You're gonna take a shot on the next podcast.
Okay, so this is much more manageable. So I have one more question. That's one more spin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Let's do it.
He's like, I need to sit down for a little bit.
Let me ask you this. So this is so interesting. I think this is a brilliant idea. Yeah. I think you get to bring value in a number of different ways. How did you come up with this? Or why did you even start doing this?
So the teams have wanted me to do more video, more content.
Sure.
I never really adapted to like the TikTok, the Snapchats and all the good stuff. But the show Hot Ones with Sean Evans, I really like watching that show. I was like, well, what if we did something similar in this world that wasn't so mortgage driven?
Yeah.
Which Sam, she'll get mad. Like, you don't do a big old intro. It's like, because I'm not overly trying to promote, cross country or our products. I just want to have fun and a good conversation.
Yeah.
Good.
And I sincerely don't care if loan officers want to come on here or competitors. I just want to have a good conversation.
That's good. And it just, you show the humanness of it.
Yes.
And not only that, but, and I talk about this in a number of different fronts, is that the front door isn't always mortgage. Yeah. It could be, I kind of like you.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's interesting about it? It's like, this is interesting.
Exactly.
And then
there's more
people,
to us.
There should be,
as
opposed to this commission breath, the lending breath.
All the time.
Mortgage breath. Like, dude, we don't need to always talk about
the same conversation, same
that.
approach. Yeah.
And I know the team's trying to be like, sometimes you're always mortgage Doug. Like, well, let's show everyone else
Mortgage Doug.
another version of ourselves. So
it's like Bob the Builder, Mortgage Doug.
Mortgage Doug,
like
yeah.
it.
So,
dude, you should get a little bobblehead or.
Oh no, Argentina's here. They're gonna now do it.
Christmas present coming up.
Oh my gosh. Last spin.
Go for it.
We kind of talked about it. We can do another spin. This says how good or bad is Sam at golf. And you said she's an octopus out there at first.
Well, initially, but you know what? She has athleticism, and if she dedicated as much time to running as she did golf, she'd be pretty dang good.
And she's a quick study, right?
She's a very quick study. We learned that at our outing. Let's find something more interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you for the comments. I appreciate it. Maybe I get more golf invites.
Yes.
There you go.
JT.
Nope, did it already.
Actually, this is slightly different.
Okay.
How would you tell the audience, since you're in the financial world, how would you get monetarily rich? Or what's a good investment that you would recommend?
So because of who I'm with, I can't really recommend any investments without proper suitability and all this other jazz. But I would say this, just tag yourself to a really good financial advisor. Mm-hmm. You guys know people who, I don't need you guys. I'll just sell my own house.
Yeah.
I'll just do it all myself.
Yeah.
I'll build my own deck.
Yeah.
And I think the mistakes I see people make is that I think I'll build my own financial plan. I read in Money Magazine that if I did this, like, dude, that it doesn't work like that.
Nor does it equate to you.
It doesn't, and and that's all clickbait, and that's all just whatever sells magazines.
Yeah,
I think it would be this: don't be lazy, right? Don't just read something.
I said that on my last podcast.
Yeah, don't be lazy, which means, and if you are going to be lazy, find somebody who isn't. Right, hire somebody that, and I think the biggest mistake is people are too cheap. They're way too cheap, and the phrase I love is like cheap is expensive. You think really it's expensive to hire a pro. Wait till you hire an amateur.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's redo. And then all of a sudden you didn't realize that, you check this box. And then next thing you know, everything's blowing up.
Yeah.
So I would say that, for all the consumers out there, and either it's consumers of finance, or it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you are lazy, then hire somebody who isn't. That's about the best I can do.
You had to spend money to make money.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't be afraid. But some people, another thing too is you got to be real about your scenario, because if some people's like, oh, we'll be fine, and then in the meantime the boat's got a big old hole in it and the water's filling, it's like, oh, we'll be fine. It's like, be real with yourself. You're not going to be fine.
And I think rich is a different result for people, right? Somebody rich is just buying a home or having a home paid off.
Yeah.
Or your first kid going to college, right? You're the first kid of your entire family going to school. That's kind of cool.
And I think us always trying to keep up with the things that we see on TV or social media, I think that kind of messes with you.
100%.
And especially if you see these young people making millions off Instagram and all that crap. It's like, damn, I don't have $2,000 in the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I would say that what you described there, I have this talk I gave that speaks to the three things that why marriages fail or why just people fail in general. Mm-hmm. I'll pick on marriages, for example. The three C's. First C is calendar. Like on your calendar, you have a spot there for your spouse, right?
Oh yeah, you got a date.
The other C is
like the time.
Is children. Like children are a big distraction, right? They consume you, and you have to make time for that, which will affect the calendar, right?
Yeah.
And then the last one is what you said, comparison. You can't compare my marriage to this person. Well, they're going out, they're going to Italy and like, Good for them.
Why aren't we going?
Why aren't we going? Like, stop it.
Yeah.
Like, stop
We
comparing.
got a round trip to freaking Elgin. Be happy.
In 24 hours.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I know that road. It's like, we're going to the Renaissance Fair, and if you don't like it, that's Thanksgiving. Shut up. No, you know what? It's so funny because I would say that for my wife and I, it's just perspective. Yeah. It's just if you have the right perspective, you're fine. I think we both agree that we're rich, but it isn't about money. Right. It's just for all the things that I mentioned earlier, and don't compare. Yeah. Like because they can do that and all that, and because they're a member of the club, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
You don't,
right? And so stop it. And I think too many people do that. Now there's some motivation there that can drive you to a certain positive direction, but anytime you start comparing, it's not a good policy. I
agree. I mean, in my personal opinion, I think money, which is what people probably consider rich. Money's freedom. Rich is happiness. Yeah. This is how I look at it. So
yeah, 100%. That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, thank you. We made it to the end, man. Let's take the last shot.
Gosh, shit. I was hoping you forget that.
He never forgets anything.
Priorities, man.
No, he doesn't forget anything. Not just the shot.
Oh, don't tell the team that. I like to play the bad memory.
No.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, Luke.
Oh, cheers.
Wow. 3 shots. This is awesome.
And I really love this book, and I do want you to sign it for me, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I'll read this quickly. Mm-hmm. I appreciate it.
Yeah, the book was written in a way that it was consumed properly. There was so much. There's one page in there that only has 2 words on it. And in all my books, it's just 2 words, and it says on purpose. That just is all. People don't realize, how much faith I have there. But Romans 8:28 speaks of this idea of purpose. Yeah. And everything in there is on purpose. And one of the aesthetic things about the book is that I did want people to just flip through it real quick. You flip that. Looks like something you can read
easily.
Exactly, that's my point. Which means I didn't.
It's not intimidating.
Exactly, which means I definitely put 1.5%. 1.5 line spacing. I had 11 font. I put it in Times Roman. All of those things come into consideration when you're trying to build an environment for your team to succeed. Yes. Right. Yeah. And so
inviting for everyone.
It will be a quick read.
I love it.
I will tell you this: if you go to Amazon and type in Adam San Juan, you'll see my name up there. It'll show up, and it'll show the 2 books that I produced. And you can get it on Audible too. So if you can handle my voice for 2 hours and 16 minutes, that's it on there.
I'm old school, man. I still like the
me
pages.
too. I had to read
like when I'm on the airplane, I travel. Like
you're the exact person I built this for, which is a professional that doesn't have time for a 7-course meal, but just give me a good read.
It's like a little mental break for me, to be quite honest.
It's a mental break for many people. And then they go, wow, I can actually use some of this. What good is it if you don't use it?
100%.
One last promo on the book. On the very back, you'll see something called in the inside, you'll see an index. And once you go through, and many books don't have an index to this extent, but if you said, hey.
Is it on the back?
You're getting there. There's an index saying, okay, so if you are this specific shape, and you want to know how they disengage or how
Page 175.
There it is. Yeah, the index is my favorite part of it. That was a part that my editor and I went back and forth on. I said, I want it, and she goes, that this kind of book doesn't really need an index. And I said, I want it there because I want people to use it. I don't want them to read and put it down. I want them to use it as a reference guide. So they say, I am a square. What jobs are the best jobs for squares? Yeah. What jobs should I avoid? Or if I'm going to engage with a circle, what should that look like?
All that's I like this. This agreement style.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I'm all for it, man.
It's an interesting part of that chapter because I wrote how they agree and how they disagree. And I said, everybody gets it when they agree. I said, people don't know how to disagree. And to learn of that person and how they disagree, people just miss that detail.
I like it. Sam, let's order one for each person in the group.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's do it.
I appreciate that. Thanks for the support.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here.
You're welcome, man. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Adam.
You are welcome.
I appreciate it.
I love it. Honestly, man, thank you so much, man. That was great.
Dude, that was so much fun.
Good stuff there.
Good stuff, Sam.
Good content.